Hey, thanks for clicking on this video. Today we're going to be trying to perform some sutures by following along with the YouTube video. Here's the suture practice kit that I ordered. It says latest release and improved generation, more durable pad underneath. Complete kits for suture training. 30-piece, here are all the contents. I don't know what a ton of these are, but I'm sure I'll find out. So here are all the strips. There are the lengths, some facts about it. Here, I think this is the pad here. We'll open that up in a second. This is a thank you for purchasing. Oh, here's the pad. Wow. Okay, so it really feels quite skin-like. Let me move this to the side. There's a silicone pad we're going to be practicing on. You can see all the different types of cuts that obviously you can perform different types of stitches on. And it looks that inside, obviously for training use only, is going to be our forceps kind of pleaser wire holders and everything like that. So on this little ticket I got, it talks about vertical mattress, horizontal mattress, and then what to use size-wise for certain types of body areas. And then simple interrupted, simple running, subcuticular running. Let's get started. Here's my little station. We're going to be following along. That feels really weird. We're going to be following along in a YouTube video. Yeah, let's see what happens.
With a bunch of different types of incisions.
What?
Yep.
Running subcuticular suture, level difficult material, silicone skin, and suture kit. Okay, so this is my silicone skin, this is my suture kit. If we look at the little packet we got, a subcuticular suture would be, I think running is maybe that's the only option. We can see what it's supposed to kind of look like. So kind of this zigzag pattern back and forth, and then you end with this like a little bit. We'll see if these directions are the same or different or close enough or whatever. But now we know that's the one we're going to be looking at. So let's get to it.
It's solid and it's kind of a little giving, but it's dense.
It feels kind of real. So I have for you here a suture kit and a 4-0 biosin on a cutting needle. 4-0
biosin monofilament. Let's open up our package here. All right, we know it's 4-0. Doesn't look like polyester braided. Would you say monofilament? That's a 3-0. Polypropylene monofilament, 4-0. Length 75 centimeters, metric is 1.5. Yeah, and this one is non-absorbable. So let's put that off to the side. I think that's the one we're using.
Cutting needle is what we use to close skin with. This is an absorbable monofilament.
Okay.
4-0, so that's a little smaller than you've been working with. So the first thing you have here is a needle driver, and every surgical instrument locks in place. So practice that mechanism, and then real surgeons don't put their thumb in that hole. Push it with the butt of your hand and then close it.
All right, so we need the needle driver. So here are our sterile single-use carbon steel. Oh, surgical blades, okay. Practice surgical blades. There we go. So looking at our different tools here, we've got something a little different. This one I thought would like come off if I can get it to focus. It's got a little gap right here in this, which you can't really pick up, but and the needle driver, I believe. Otherwise I don't know. And then this one's got little forceps, and it's got a little pinch to it, so you can see that there. The difference here is this one doesn't look like it's bent at the end. But other than that, it looks pretty similar. And the difference between these is obviously size. You can tell, even comparing next to each other, that they're very different in length. But yeah, they're both pretty similar. This one also seems to be a little curved, while this one kind of seems to be knife-like, you know, kind of like scissors. While this one doesn't seem to be as sharp. It's got a little mechanism down here to lock it. Pretty smart.
And then you also need these pickups. These are rough approximations of Adson forceps with teeth.
These are the pickups we're going to be using. That you can see that was the bit of the teeth she talked about, how those go together like that.
Good.
Take the whole thing out?
Yep.
Ooh.
Okay.
Wait.
So here's how she was talking about holding the needle driver with your hand kind of like this and pushing it with the butt of your hand. Because obviously she said you don't do this, which I guess might just be easier. So you have to lock it with the palm of your hand and then relock it with the palm of your hand. So, and for taking out the suture, she said it's actually okay if you put your thumb in the needle driver. I believe is what she called it. So let's take that out now. There's the little needle we're going to be using. Hold that down with my thumb. Oh, and here's all the filament we got to put into the suture.
So what I'm going to teach you now is called the running subcuticular closure.
Okay.
Say it with me. running subcuticular closure. Okay, and this is a nice way to make the skin come together and there's no stitches visible.
Okay.
So I'm gonna pick up the edge of the quote-unquote skin, take one bite sort of right in the apex of this skin.
Is bite also a technical term?
It is. I'm gonna then what's called protect my needle. So now the sharp end of the needle is protected against this pickups.
Oh, okay.
And I'm just gonna do a couple of one-handed ties. Usually 3 or 4 for this. I'm alternating. And then when you get to the end, I'll show you what to do.
So here's where we're going to be working from. And of course I can't touch the needle because it goes inside of a person, so I need to be careful. First step was to pick up the edge of the skin, so I guess I'm going to pick it up like that.
Here we go.
Good.
Back to the failure euphemisms.
Release your needle driver. Like push it from behind. Because you don't usually want to touch the tip of this needle because you don't want to either break it or make it dull. So now what you're going to do is protect your needle. That's it. Perfect. Pull through. Good. And now you're ready to tie. Do 4 single-handed throws.
So the second step is to tie 4 single-handed throws after I've protected my needle, which I believe to be like this, where the needle edge is pointing towards the handle that I'm using, not outward, so I can't, poke anything else. And then after I need to throw 4 single-handed throws, I gotta tie them, which I don't know how to do, but we're gonna try it. So pretty much what they did was tie some knots down here at the base, then cut it off with, I believe, this tool. So we'll see after we tie it down, because he just said he wanted it anchored. So I guess I could do any type of knot. And I know, of course, I shouldn't be touching this with my hand. But, so I don't know if this is the right way to do it. And obviously I would have gloves on, or, it would be sterile, because I wouldn't ever want to just touch the patient. But here's what we're doing. We're just doing a little knot like that, and you can kind of see how it's a little bit longer. And then she just cut off the end, and that was just the base.
So then a running subcuticular closure, if you use your imagination, is going to end up like a series of C's in the plane of the skin. So then your next bite, you're going to evert the opposite side of the skin. You're going to enter the tissue sort of exactly opposite to where you came out. And again, you're just going to kind of run along the dimension of the skin just like so. You're going to use the back of the needle to push it along. And if you're super slick, you'll load your needle while it's held down there for you. Okay, so you're actually going to come along this dimension.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like so.
Again, use your pickups to put the tissue where you want it to go.
Put the tissue where I want it to go. I am stuck, but that's enough to get it out, I hope.
Yeah. And in real subcuticular tissue, you want to come out inside the wound so that the stitch gets hidden, but that's okay. For our purposes, that's your first bite, that's fine. The point of this closure is that you don't see any suture.
So am I going across or am I going along?
No, now you're going across.
Now I'm going across.
But again, use your pickups to show yourself where you want to go. So move along, make more progress, which means take a bite with your pickups closer to your body. Good.
You can see my first 2 mistakes here. Then I realized I'm supposed to do it under the skin in and on both sides, and then come out underneath the skin as well, so that the suture doesn't show. And because this would be absorbable, the idea is obviously to not look like you have any sutures at all. And I find the biggest problem to be, if I'm doing it right, obviously, is that my nylon, my 4O that I'm pulling, is tangled, and it gets in my way. I feel so much. I feel like it just gets in my way a lot, which is tough because obviously I don't think it would do that in real life, but real life would obviously also be way harder. So this thing is a lot harder for me to maneuver to try and get, oh gosh. So now I can't obviously touch the inside of the skin, but I also don't want to get inside the muscle, and that would hurt really bad. I've experienced my bad sutures in the day, whether that's nurses giving them requiring more attention, so they get me in and out, and then I'm stuck with, a suture that, and until I'm able to do it on an apple flawlessly, or a banana, or it's most likely a banana, I believe, but professionals helping me out to learn, rather just following along a YouTube video seeing how well it works. So I gotta take this.
Yeah.
Even if they don't look perfect, these tend to heal up okay, but you can make this look like nothing ever happened.
Which is kind of
Which is not what's happening to your patient.
Oh, well, they're going to have a nice memento of their time with
That's
me.
right.
All right, so let's assume that the rest of this is going to go flawlessly.
Like that, like this.
Like this.
So Peter, once you get to the end.
It's gracious, looks so much better. I clearly didn't pull hard enough because it's not going to close at all. Boom, magical. Now I got to figure out how to close.
You're going to close this with what's called an Aberdeen hitch.
Okay.
So take your post. Again, we're protected here. And get your right hand through that loop. And you're gonna go grab your post and bring it through your knot. Don't let your loop get too small.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I got one.
Good.
Do
And
another.
do another one. Yep.
Keep tension on the post. Don't let the loop get too small. Pull on that, and that'll go down.
Pull just the bottom one. Just this one. There you go.
Oh,
Just that bottom one. Good. And then one more.
one more.
Put that whole thing through.
Yes.
Yep. Nice. Very good. Oh,
Oh, no.
okay, go ahead.
Spoke too soon.
Well, it actually looks better down there at the bottom. The top is a little rough here because I didn't do my sutures close together, and then I have a little error here where I don't really know what happened. I guess I just did them too far apart again. As you can see, I guess I did. But then at the end, yeah, it looks I think it's whatever. Don't know how she said to close, but we're gonna just do some of the simple knots that we learned earlier, which obviously I shouldn't do because it's a needle. We're gonna do them anyways.
Then your assistant cuts this, and then once you're done with the suture, you pass it off to the scrub, protect it, and you say needle back.
Needle back.
And
Thank
that's
you.
that. Look how nice.
Look how beautiful that is, the thing you did 80% of.
The point of this is that the suture is hidden, so they don't need to get them removed, and that they just dissolve.
All right, so that was way tougher than I thought it'd be. You can see my close. I just did 2 of them, and then one, obviously. I did 2 regular knots that I did in the beginning. One of them isn't on the same path, I guess, as the other 2. I cut it, or I guess I used my hands and I tied it a little too far away from the entry, and then I got a little problematic in the beginning. There's the little needle we're using. The pad is coming up off the ground because I pulled the stitches too tight and they were too close together and too far apart and above the skin, and I didn't time right and I didn't properly close. So yeah, that's a botched job. Yeah, I'm basically a trauma surgeon just like she is. Yeah, I tried my very best to perform the subcuticular running suture that she talked about in the video. It was a lot harder than it looks. Of course, she did a very good job being a trauma surgeon, and being with the person in the same room rather than watching a video performs differently, I guess. So it's a little easier, but yeah, I did try my very best. Didn't turn out very well, as you can see from the video itself. If you do want to see any other videos, I can try it on a banana or a different type of suture, or even just a different cut following a different video. Feel free to let me know in the comments. But other than that, leave a like, leave a subscription if you enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Peace.